Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this 14th session of the online course 1 on the path of Sathya Sai Educare. The title of today's topic is Inspiring Sathya Sai Educational Initiatives, Part 2. In the first part of today's session, we are going to have two different examples of the initiatives that have been inspired by the Sathya Sai Educare pedagogy and philosophy in Italy and Spain. And they are going to be shared by our dear Fabiana Laruccia and by myself, Elena Rodriguez. Good morning, dear Fabiana. Are you there?
Good morning. Good morning, dear Elena.
Thank you for being here today with us. Now I'm going to give a little bit more details about the session of today to our participants. After Fabiana and myself presentations, there will be some time for questions and answers as usual, about 10 minutes for that. And then we will have a 5 minutes break. In the second part, we are having an interactive workshop with breakout rooms. As you have met Fabiana in previous sessions, I am going to give a few details about her dedicated work in the field of education and education in Sathya Sai human values and her contributions to the society at different levels. Fabiana coordinates the activities of the Institute of Sathya Sai Education in Italy and has a long experience as a teacher training on human values education. She is a consultant in the field of sustainability oriented towards the common good, and she is a trainer on social relational issues and humanistic counseling. Dear Fabiana, we are very happy to have you here with us again today. And I would like to invite you to start this part of the session with your presentation of Education in Human Values, A Path for Life, Unit 2, Ethics and Good Communication, from I to We. We are looking forward to listening to you. Please, Fabiana, go ahead.
Thank you, Elena, for introducing me with these kind, loving, and welcoming words. Good morning, everyone. It is a great joy to meet you again and to continue this journey together, full of love, sharing, harmony, unity of purpose in spreading human values in the world. I'm very happy to share with you how the training project Education in Human Values, A Path for Life is continuing. Now I share the slides. I remind you that the course was launched in Italy 2 years ago and is aimed at teachers of various school cycles of the public school. I shared with you the key information and guidelines of the journey during the session held in December 2022. We are very happy that the course is continuing with the second unity of this school year, entitled Ethics and Good Communication, from I to We, and which is still recognized by the Ministry of Education. To resume our common thread, I briefly illustrate the structure of the course, which began in 2021 with the Unit 1, Pace, Pensieri in Armonia, Comportamenti in Equilibrio, is Italian acronym, Peace, Thoughts in Harmony, Balanced Behavior. We explored the 5 human values and their interrelation with a particular focus on the value of peace and its related values of calmness, harmony, self-confidence, balance, joy. From inner peace, we moved on to deepening the ethical and relational aspects with the second unit that we are concluding in this period with the title Ethics and Good Communication from I to We. We have deepened the 5 human values with a focus on truth, righteousness, peace in relationship, love, non-violence. The next school year will continue with the Unit 3, Harmony between Man and Nature, always placing the focus on the close interconnection of human values and, in particular, deepening the principle of unity. The contextual framework of reference was that of civic education in the area of sustainable development and links with the 2030 agenda that is a global action plan for people, planet, prosperity, and for universal peace. UNESCO underlines that education is one of the main factors in this path toward sustainability and underlines its transformative value for a common good. In fact, we have always shared that good education is the foundation of healthy and happy societies. The emphasis is placed above all the quality of education and on a humanistic vision that promotes universal ethical principles as respect for human rights, solidarity, social justice, equity, respect for nature. With this vision that we have found a way to connect and plant seeds that are linked to education in human values as a path oriented towards the necessary awakening of conscience. From this point of view, the evolutionary change towards a more ethical and sustainable future is connected to the concept of development of our conscience and to the philosophy of educare. Educare is the gradual unfolding of our inner consciousness, like a seed that sprouts, a tree that grows, a flower that blossoms. Bring out the beauty, the goodness, the truth of the essence of love present in every human being. A process that always needs to understand and respect individual growth, evolution, and transformation. The purpose of our life is already present and active in us. It is important to continue to cultivate trust, courage, without forcing the times, with a gradual learning process, like the metaphor of the butterfly that needs to respect its natural processes, its growth rhythms, so that it can then spread its wings. A further project is to develop awareness of the principle of unity and of being integral parts of a complex and delicate network of relationship that embraces every living being on Earth. This awareness prompts us to commit ourselves to acting responsibly on individual and collective level, reflecting on how to communicate, relate, and co-evolve for the common good. These considerations leads us to Unit 2 of the course, Ethics and Good Communication, from I to We. And I will speak you about the purpose, participants, contents, and organizational aspects, some results of the workshop, and the practical activity that teaching are doing with the students. The purpose of Unit 2 relates to 3 aspects. Further deepen the educare philosophy understanding the close interconnection of the values of truth, righteousness, peace, love, and nonviolence, raise awareness of the importance of having heart-to-heart communication, focus on the theme of ethics, social responsibility, solidarity, group cooperation, cultivation of goodness and beauty, the respect for others, animals, and nature. The course saw the participation of an average of 20 teachers, educators of different school cycles. The activity involved teachers on 2 levels, a process of self-knowledge, self-awareness, self-transformation, an experiential learning path to be implemented practically with the students based on human values. About the process of self-knowledge, self-awareness, self-transformation, it refers to a continuous inner evolution that leads to the questions through a meiotic approach. How much and in what way I reflect on the meaning and significance of my actions? How much what I think, say, and do is in line with human values? How coherent am I when I communicate? How do I continue my journey of growth, evolution, and transformation? How do I inspire, lead, set an example? How do I create an environment of love and a heart-to-heart relationship with the students? How can I foster the feeling of unity, harmony, community, solidarity, a sense of we in action? Then we have the second level that refers to an experiential learning path to be implemented practically with the students based on human values. Lesson plans were provided as a support for teachers from which to take inspiration to carry out the practical part with the children. We have organized the course in 7 sessions of 2 hours with these contents. In session 1, we presented the ISSE Institute and its aims, the founder, Sathya Sai, who inspired the Human Values Education Program, then the topic of educare and the value of truth. The end of education is character. In session 2, we spoke about the value of righteousness, ethics, and social responsibility. Session 3, seeds for good communication, communicate heart to heart. Session 4, living the value of peace, relational intelligence and system thinking, group harmony and cooperation. Session 5, direct, indirect and co-curricular approach, practical experiences and projects in the school and the community. Session 6, the value of love, cultivation of goodness and beauty at home and community. Session 7, the value of nonviolence, respect and care for people, animals, and the environment. In each session, we organized a workshop to make the activities interactive, activating exchanges and reflections together. These are some of the more specific organizational aspects that I have told you. The course had a duration 14 hours. The methodology is integrated with theoretical activities, workshop, and moments of self-sitting. There is a part of practical application of 10 hours, and lesson plans were provided as a support for teachers and educators. We had the opportunity, a wonderful opportunity, to explore the theme of ethics and good communication in the light of human values. The truth that is expressed in practice as honesty, authenticity, clarity, goodness, sincerity, courage, wisdom, righteousness, act ethically and congruently between what you think, say, and do, rooted in love, responsibility, and good teamwork. Peace, living peace by creating harmonious relationship with joy and enthusiasm. Love, living loving and inclusively, embracing diversity, welcoming different opinions, expressing kindness, solidarity, gratitude. Non-violence, act with respect for people and nature. Now, I'm happy to show you some results of the workshops. These are some results of a workshop during which teachers were asked how to improve communication from heart to heart. Some results are here are some keywords. Speak softly, calmly, with empathy, use positive words and instill confidence. Fundamental is the capacity for loving, understanding. Suspend the attitude of negative judgment, making use of intuition, which is something that comes from the heart. Importance of keeping our words in tune with the heart. Unity of head, heart, and hands. Communication that starts from the heart goes beyond everything. When we relate to others, they become our mirror. Convey trust, willpower, positive thinking for the solution of a difficult situation. This is the summary of some reflections that emerged from the question, what are the qualities to cultivate for a good collaboration? We create the garden of qualities. Some words are willingness to feel good together, mutual help, perception of unity, active listening and harmony with the other, honesty, empathy, suspending judgment, dialogue and mediation in dispute, self-control, calmness, appreciation, gratitude, solidarity, being an example in expressing values and coherence, verbally and non-verbally, create a context of love and well-being. As I said before, the second part of the course included the practical activities. Teachers have the task of carrying out 10 hours of practical activities in a classroom or in other educational contexts. We will share the outcome of these activities in a meeting that we will hold in June. In the meeting, we will also ask for feedback on the course and the satisfaction. However, we are happy to have already received comments. Teachers expressed much appreciation for the contents, for the insight, for the support material. They appreciate sharing practical experiences and 5 techniques. I would like to share with you some words that particularly touched us. A teacher said, "Thanks to all of you for all the love and awareness that have reached our hearts. also through the invisible network of sisterhood and brotherhood. Another important thing is that at the end of the course, the teachers will receive a certificate from Ministry of Education, like this one. And a heartfelt thanks goes to the whole group of trainers you see here in the picture, a group that continues to work with harmony, joy, and unity in this great task of spreading human values in education. We are very happy to work together. Now, I'm very happy to conclude with these words from Sathya Sai that say, the transformation of the person is at the basis of the transformation of the world. When man's behavior is exemplary, society becomes perfect. Thanks for your attention. Now,
Thank you very much, Fabiana. Okay.
Now I'm very pleased to give the floor to dear Elena for the presentation of your splendid project, The Inner Treasure. I remember that Elena Rodriguez Calvo is graduated in psychology and specialized in social intervention with children and family. She is co-founder and vice president of the non-profit association Educating for Nonviolence in Spain. She became a teacher of Sathya Sai education in human values in 1999, and she has been part of the Spanish team of trainers since 2009. Please, Elena.
Thank you very much, dear Fabiana. Thank you for your introduction and for your beautiful presentation. Now, I'm going to continue what Fabiana has just shared so clearly and beautifully to illustrate today's topic. I must correct a little bit of my surname. My second surname is Clavo, which is my mother's surname. So it's Elena Rodriguez Clavo. It's my full name. I live in Madrid, as you already know. And what I'm going to share now, it's a project connected to non-formal education. As it is stated in the following slide, the Inner Treasure is an extracurricular primary school project based on the philosophy and pedagogy of Sathya Sai Educare and the active socio-affective methodology. In 1993, from the very moment I knew about the Sathya Sai education in human values, principles, and methodology, it has been a relief for me to know that the human values are latent within every human being, and that what we need to do is to find them, understand them, and translate them into practice. I then read also that there are 3 steps to become a good teacher. These 3 steps are given in the next slide. First be, then do, and only then tell. So as my personal commitment was to take this pedagogy to the children in the school context, then what I did was first to start doing the self-inquiry every day, every moment, with the permanent question of who am I, and keep it always present in my mind. Then after I needed to learn how to experience the pedagogy of Sathya Sai Educare in as many contexts as possible, beginning with the personal, family, community, and of course, schools. And only then tell. That is what I'm doing now. We share with others what I have discovered of the effectiveness of this pedagogy. In my search of how to implement the pedagogy of Sathya Sai Educare, in 2007, I was given a golden opportunity through the Association Educating Nonviolence to practice directly with children from 3 to 16 years old. Workshops are offered to schools for learning how to live together with cooperative games, songs, activities, and group dynamics to solve interpersonal conflict in a positive way. All this is done always on a free, of course, a free of charge basis. And it's a voluntary work, which is very, very well welcomed in the schools I've been doing this. But the Association of Educating Nonviolence uses a methodology which is called active socio-affective methodology. And I found that this methodology was complementary to the pedagogy of Sathya Sai Educare. As we already know everything about the philosophy and pedagogy of Sathya Sai Educare, and we know our goal, which is the integral development of the human personality. Now, what I'm going to do is to focus on the description of the active socio-affective methodology. And I will share with you why this is a compatible teaching technique with this course. The active socio-affective methodology has got 3 steps. First is to feel. We feel through direct experience in a game, a group dynamic, or a real life situation, sometimes also role-playing. Then we think. In this stage, we reflect on the experiences. After every game, we spend some time reflecting about the activity carried out and its relation to our real life. The basic instrument for this reflection is also the question, like it is in our pedagogy of Sathya Sai education. The third part of this methodology is to act. The educational process ends successfully when the participants take their new learning to real life. After the reflections, we will dedicate part of the time to see how to put into action the values of conduct that we have just experienced and analyzed. We make a commitment for changing inappropriate behaviors and transforming them into appropriate ones. So after 15 years facilitating workshops of this kind, I have become confident in front of groups of children and teenagers because I have visited more than 40 schools and more than 12 secondary schools. And I visited their classrooms only once a month, maybe 5 or 6 times in a year. But I knew that in order to prove the efficiency, the effectiveness, and the benefits of the pedagogy of Sathya Sai Educare, I needed to have a weekly lesson with one group of children. So this is what I'm going to talk to you about now. In the academic year 2021-22, so last academic year, I volunteered for a weekly extracurricular non-formal education activity for children from 9 to 12 years old with a frequency of 1 hour per week. In one of the state infant and primary schools where I had been giving monthly workshops on how to live together for some years in Madrid. When I was asked about the name of the project, this title came quickly into my mind. The Inner Treasure. So I wrote a letter to the director and head of studies with the idea. Later, I created an informative interactive document for the families. And then we started last year with 6 children in one group, being the maximum of children allowed to be in the workshop, the number of 10. But this year I have repeated the workshop, and this year we have 2 hours weekly, and the number of children participating is about 12, sometimes 13 in this moment. In the next 4 slides, we can see the content of this document with the description of the project. The main objective of this project is to discover together the values, qualities, personal abilities that we all have by nature, and learn to put them into action, to feel good about ourselves, for our well-being and that of the people we live with. In the next 3 slides, the techniques to meet the main objective are described. So we will meet this objective with conscious attention to breathing, in order to be calm and concentrated at all times. With stories and tales, the main character faces obstacles and challenges and overcomes them by practicing values. After telling the story, we do a round of questions and answers to discover and understand the obstacles and virtues developed in the story. We also we will achieve our aim with songs and musical group activities to experience harmony and the benefits of cooperation through music, with universal proverbs and quotes from famous people in the history of mankind, which can help us in times of uncertainty, with cooperative group activities, games, theater, etc., to get to know each other, to behave and communicate with kindness and respect. With the ever-present guide of the 3-8 circuit, the unity of head, heart, and hands, and with artistic expressions and drawings and the use of recycled objects. This will be done to care for the environment. And how we'll do this, and how can we start? How did I start with all this project at the beginning? The golden thread along the sessions is shown in the next slide. From my direct experience, I have learned that by connecting to the 3-8 circuit, I can feel harmony and face everyday challenges. So my aim now is to make the children aware of this circuit. The circuit starts when we feel the energy in our heart with a warm temperature. And as the heart is the seat of the value of love, and love is the undercurrent of all the other values, we need to feel and connect with this energy. And after this, we can learn how to select our thoughts, our words, and our actions to be in tune with this energy. So I decided to start by creating an environment and culture of love. And in the next slide, we can see some examples. Before starting the session, I always create a welcoming and attractive classroom environment. The chairs are always placed in a circle, maybe without tables in front, or maybe with tables in front, but always around, so that every child can look at each other from every point of the classroom. And then I use also colorful materials and endearing and meaningful objects, something that makes them open their eyes and start their curiosity. There are other ideas shown in the following slides. I have invented the 3H vitamin bottles to create awareness and to improve their inner strength. Something like improving their, I tell them that we are going to improve their immune systems. Something that protects them and will go with them everywhere. We will do this with the practice of the 3H circuit. In order to be aware of the harmony of the 3H, each person explains some achievements of harmony to the group. And then they take a round piece of card, like made with recycled materials like this, for example, a round piece of brick made from a container, from a beverage containers. They take a round circle or a button and put it into their vitamin bottle. Sometimes they help each other to find examples of this harmony. So every child has one bottle with their names that they color and write their names on it. On the other side of the bottle, there is a picture of the 3H, the heart, a head, and a hand. And on the top, we write 3H. In Spain, we write the 3C because we have different words for the heart is corazón, head is cabeza, and hand is body, that is in Spanish cuerpo. So we have the 3Cs instead of the 3H, but this fits very well. So I will show always some other material that an equipment that I prepare for them before the first session and then during the different sessions. For example, the picture with here is there are heart-shaped color pieces of cardboard that I give them on the first session, and on this hearts, they write their names and they wear them like a medal around their neck. It's like the first thing that I give them to make them feel welcome and to give them an identity to belong to this group. After the fourth session, I give them a handmade pencil bag made also with material and sewing with handmade material, with writing tools, a sharpener, an eraser, a pencil, and a non-expensive fountain pen. With this, I try them to be used to write with pen so that they protect the environment and don't throw the ball pen when it's finished. But to recharge the pen is easier with little ink cartridges. And so I'm trying to make them aware of this possibility. So in the next slide, you can see some of the teaching aids which have proved to be very useful too. Here we can see a torch with the shape of a little lighthouse that I use for the silent sitting, a handmade soft woolen ball, colorful shawls, a bell, flutes of different kinds, and also recycled containers like this, which I put little papers inside with quotations and sometimes with titles of songs and sometimes with titles of stories. So these recycled containers can also be useful for improvising or for giving them the possibility to choose one song and to keep their curiosity alive. And I also tell them that these are also very, very good for the health of the heart and for being strong inside. I also use different objects to represent care for the environment. Like, for example, a very little watering can. Sometimes I take some seeds, almonds, things like that, or that help them remember that we have to be careful for the environment too. And also other objects to play cooperative games like sticks, balloons, soft toys, etc. And I place these things in the middle of the room when I'm going to use them, so that they create the interest and the curiosity starts working. Thanks to the use of the bowling ball. Sorry. I'm going to check if there's something that I need to know. No, everything is going right. So if there is any problem of the sound of something, please let me know. Okay, with the use of this bowling ball is important because by passing the ball, I give them the turn to talk. Once the child finishes talking and the others are listening, he or she passes the ball back to me, and then I pass it to another child. Thanks to this bowling ball, they can develop their power of listening. Very often, communication is not correct, and it causes frustration and irritation. If they do not listen well to each other, they do not understand each other, and this is a very big obstacle in learning to live together in harmony. We all agree on that we need to be careful with our language in our search for our inner treasure, but we have to overcome many obstacles in our search. We know that there are lots of challenges and obstacles in our daily relationship with other people. With children, the obstacles have been identified as hyperactivity, low concentration, low self-control, low resistance to frustration, etc. And all these take them to disruptive behavior, violent reactions, etc. And emotional moods. And so sometimes they're sad, they don't know how to deal with their own humor. So we need to communicate with them a lot and to give them the opportunity to be listened to and to express themselves. And the ball is a very good instrument for this, to distribute the turns in the questions and answers part of the methodology. Another challenge I found is that there is no regularity in the groups. Some children come to school in the middle of the academic year. They leave their countries and have to adapt quickly to a new environment. There are lots of disturbed families in our society nowadays, and this causes a lot of unsettlement in the children's behavior. The children are unfocused. Adults may not be available to pay quality attention to them. So in order to fulfill the needs of the children, the emotional well-being and the social well-being of every child, this is why the main objective of the inner treasure is to help them to find this stability inside, not outside. What is the most important technique to find inner peace? Our next slide shows us the way. Of course, the practice of silent sitting. At the beginning of every session, I have instructed the children to take 2 levels of practice that we have to be able to achieve every time we meet. So the first part is to take 3 full breaths, divided into 2 moments, inhale and exhale. Listen to the sound of the bell or to one note played with the flute to signal the beginning of each full breath. And then the second level is to be silent for 3 minutes in a quiet position with our back straight, with our eyes closed, internally observing how natural breathing occurs in our body. These are the tools that I use for helping them concentrate and to help them practice this important technique. So, in the next slide, we can see a complementary practice which has also been very effective. Mandalas. These designs are really useful to help the children concentrate, control their emotions, etc. after the silent sitting practice. The word mandala comes from Sanskrit and means circle. The importance of the importance of these drawings and designs is that the children can concentrate either coming from the outside to the center of the mandala or from the center to the outside. So it depends on if we want to help them to concentrate or help them to expand outside, depending on the personality of every child. But the thing is that they organize they give like a balance inside. They are happy to do it. They are emotionally controlled. So it's something that has proved to be very good for this project too. So here are some examples. And so once they are more balanced inside, then we can go to the practice of the next technique, the practice of storytelling. For example, in these pictures, we can see different illustrations for the same story. I told them a story that I love very much, which is called The Obstacle in the Way. And then after telling the story directly from my voice without the reading, then I gave them the papers with the story written on it so that they could also read it aloud. So one boy volunteered to read it, and then the others listened. And after that, I asked them the questions. And finally, they drew their own illustration. We can see another slide with another 3 examples. And this is interesting because with these drawings, I can see exactly what every child has understood from the story. And they also give me information of their self-control, self-confidence, self-esteem, and sometimes of their academic level, so that I can help them a little bit more in every dimension of their personality. So we can also prepare a theater play afterwards on the story. And this is what we did with another story. I also gave them this a story that I love also very much, which is called The Tenacious Caterpillar. And then we practiced first with the cooperative games, with changing places in from chair to chair according to the different characters that were mentioned by the narrator. So we prepared beforehand, and then after that we used these already prepared characters to play the roles of the different characters and to make them more involved. So this was also a practice of group activity. Then another possibility is to, of course, another technique, the group singing. It's also done by reading first the lyrics and explaining the keywords with the use of the woolen ball. They explain the most important words of the song, and then they made some pictures too. It was called The Two Promises. So with this, I would like to continue with the transformation experiences, because as I was telling you, sometimes the emotional problems of the children are obstacles in the way to have good relationships among themselves. So one day I'm showing this to you because this is an example of the capacity of Marcos, a 10-year-old boy, for tuning in and stay calm while there was a big trouble around. The design was made in our second session this academic year. He was totally concentrated and silently designed this amazing mandala, which was finished with all the colors after a few sessions. This boy had been a regular participant in the Inner Treasure workshops since October 2021, and I think this is the outcome of the practice of silent sitting for 26 sessions last year. And of course, because of the nature of this boy, he has an artistic, he has an artist inside of him. So the possibility to draw this during the session in the middle of a big storm among other participants gave me the idea of the benefits that silent sitting and the Inner Treasure workshops are giving to this child. And I didn't ask him to draw a mandala or anything like that. It was his own decision. So we are going to see a few more experiences here. And then because of we need to have more time for questions and answers, I would like to show the rest of the slides. And if you wish to know more, we can talk about it before the break, in the last few minutes. So these are all pictures of the children, but these are spontaneous drawings, all of them. So I don't ask them to do this or that, but they draw these things like that. So I would like you to just to finish with the most important achievement of this workshop so far has been that the practice of silent sitting is helping them to to connect with their inner self, their real self, because they show different talents and attitudes after that. This is important to remember that once the greatest gift we can give our children is the secret to inner peace. there is another treasure that is essential for children to find, and that is the jewel of pure conscience. Once children are in tune with their own conscience, they will know from within what is right for them and what is wrong. They will develop their own inner discipline that will serve as a guide rather than depending on outer discipline. And this is very important in our cases, in the school I am. Here are the folders that we prepared for keeping their pictures and the stories, and also the memory I write on every session for that, to take them home for the parents to watch, to read. These are other examples of trees that they spontaneously made also during the sessions. And here, that the last one is the exhibition of their works from October to December this year. And that's all for now. Thank you very much for your attention and for being with us. And now we can open a space for questions and answers. So if you have any questions, either for Fabiana or for me, please go ahead. Okay, here is a question for Fabiana. Fabiana, can you read the question? Or do you want me?
One moment. Dear Fabiana, how did the teachers receive the message of human values? What are the new elements that have found in the peace program? We involved 30, 40 teachers and an average of 20 teachers, educator has been during our course, and then they have found a big joy to do this course, and we are shared always this big joy. My experience doing this project was really deeply felt, uplifting. Also for me was full of joy, and it is a very engaging because we would like to improve each time our work and to use a simple language, a universal language with the teachers, and then this way to do the course was very was very uplifting, very has improved their awareness about their roles and their mission in education, I think. And I can say that our group experience of working in harmony was also beautiful, and a beautiful way to train human values in the working group. in creating harmony, tuning in, and giving us constructive feedback, and making us improve as people every time, and perceiving ourselves as an us who acts.
Thank you, Fabiana. Thank you very much for
this is my feeling.
Yeah. Thank you. It's very, very, very encouraging to hear that. And there are two questions for me here, and I'm going to try to answer them together. It's dear Elena, can you share an example of transformation in one of your children with this beautiful project? And George also asks, can you share any experience shared from students who have attended the Inner Treasure project? Did you see any improvement to hyperactivity, self-control of concentration? Well, I must say that this project is still in progress. We are I am working intensely to help all the children develop their best abilities here. But I have two examples. One of the boys who is now 12 years old, well, she's going to be 13, and he started last year in the project with me. This boy is showing a big transformation because he is beginning to trust himself much more and more. He is building his self-confidence more and more, and I can feel that he also trusts my point of view, because sometimes he tells me about difficulties that they are having in the classroom or in the playground with other children, and he comes to me and gives me the information that this has happened and this has happened, because his moral dilemmas appear very often, and he looks for my counseling. So I think this is a very, very good result, because at this age, they don't know exactly how to behave, and then this child is like always finding the balance between the different tendencies he's got inside, and he also is very cooperative, very, very helpful. He tries to help everybody. He tries to stop other children from using violence and fighting, maybe, and treat others without respect. And he always tries to collaborate with the right action, with the righteousness and non-violence. And it's very, very, very nice. And there's another child who always well, this is the best. There was another child who was had very low academic results. He was always very frustrated. And then we started. He stayed with me for a few sessions, only 5 or 6 sessions, but during this time he started finding the pleasure of drawing, expressing with pictures. And so now he's very, very fond of doing pictures, and normally he's very happy when he meets me. And well, it's a pity that I cannot continue with him, because he's not staying for the extracurricular workshop anymore. But at least I think that he is gaining confidence in himself, thanks to the pictures that he made in the workshop. Okay, and then
dear Elena, I was thinking that I would like to share another thing that about our course in Italy, because during educational activities, teachers are not they don't use to contact their conscience. This is a new element that we have introduced in the course. And then to have this awareness is a very important evolution for the teacher, because generally in the school they speak about didactic topic, but during our course we speak a lot about our conscience, the role of the heart, the coherence between heart, no, behavior, to contact our heart, like in a higher level of conscience. And this is a new element that teachers, educators appreciated a lot.
Okay, it is very necessary when dealing with everyday life with a school context. Thank you, dear Fabiana. So there are some another two questions. We are a little bit late after 11, but we can still maybe answer, or I can write the answers to this. We can reply to these questions with the email to Pooja and also again George. Do you think it's okay, or shall we extend this part a little bit longer before the second part of the session today? What can we do? What do we do? George.
It will be nice to answer the question.
Okay.
Good morning to everybody, and hello to Elena and Fabiana. Thank you for your presentations. And the second was not a question. I just sent thanks to Fabiana for her answer, because I really consider that the connection with conscience is indeed a fundamental and new element that we all need. And
okay.
also education. And I think a little time we can take to answer, because it is also our questions. It is so nice to see these practical ways that you use in order to convey the message.
Okay, so yeah, the vitamin 3H bottles are used with I put a big bottle, or a big box, a big container, like big one with it, not this one, a big one with buttons and circular things. And so I say, if we make a 3H circuits, then we will take one of these round things to nurture the harmony of this circuit that we have been able to make. So we think about something that we have made during the day or during the week. In this action, we had our heart full of love. Then we had our mind and thoughts full of good ideas. And then we practiced one of these ideas. And then when we think that we have completed the circuit, then we take one piece of this and we put it in our vitamin bottle. So that means that we are like happy, we are satisfied, we are gaining strength inside by practicing the harmony of the 3H. For example, one day, one girl said that she had helped her teacher to sweep the floor of the classroom. And so I asked her, were you feeling love while you were sweeping the floor? Were you feeling love for your teacher? And she said, oh yes, I was very happy. So I said, okay, so you felt this love, you thought you could help her by doing something for the classroom, like sweeping the floor, and then you did it. So this is a full circuit. So I told her, now you can have a vitamin in your bottle and things like that. So I asked them, if you are sweeping the floor, but you are not happy and you are doing just because you are fearing for a punishment or for something, and you are angry or you are upset, this is not a circuit. So it's not the action of just sweeping the floor because the teacher asks you to. It's the attitude of being happy, of being in love with what you are doing and doing it because you love the teacher. So things like that. These are examples. So I hope that I have answered your question, Pooja. Okay. Thank you very much. And so we can go on to the, there is another message from Katinka. It would be nice to give the answers for everyone. Okay. Yes, not just those who asked the questions. Thank you both for the beautiful and enlightening presentations. Love flows with great expertise. Thank you, Katinka. Yes, the answers are for everyone. Yes, because we all need to be more aware of our role as educators and also our practices in the school. Thank you. So, welcome back to our second part of the session of today. We are going to start now reminding that one of the important activities that we found they were helping children to control their emotions and feel better in the classroom and change their mood. It was the mandalas. But what is a mandala? As we said before, this is the meaning of the word is circle in Sanskrit language. But I have been looking for the meaning of this symbol and why is this important for this practice of peace, inner peace. And I read in this book called Mandalas, written by Marion and Werner Kustenmacher. I have read that with the symbol of the mandala, no matter their origin and culture, human beings can experience that they should not get lost in the path of existence, but to find security in the center. So I think it's a very good metaphor for our search of the inner treasure, for the goal of the Sathya Sai Educare and the pedagogy and philosophy of this beautiful program. So now we are going to start with 3 minutes of silent sitting so that we can go inside and feel this energy and warmth in the center of our heart. And after that, we will have breakout rooms and 2 questions for discussing among ourselves and then to report at the end. So let's start now with the silent sitting, which I'm going to give the signal with the flute so that we all begin together and end together for 3 minutes. As I told in the workshop, in the Inner Treasure project, the first will be 3 complete breathings divided in 2 parts, like inhale and exhale. And I will give the signal of one tone in the flute for beginning each of these full breaths. And then after that, I will give another signal to start the silent sitting with eyes closed, back straight, and observe our breathing, natural breathing, which occurs in our body mechanically, but we will be observing the process for 3 minutes. And at the end of the 3 minutes, I will give another signal to wake up, to come back and open our eyes again. So first part, the 3 full breaths. And now to start the 3 minutes. We are going to open our eyes again, stretch a little bit, stretch our arms a little bit, rub our hands together, and then put them on the palms on your eyes for a few seconds. Okay, and after this connection with our spiritual heart and our inner peace, we are going to distribute in 5 breakout rooms, and we will talk about these 2 questions. First, have you got any experiences to share on an inspiring Sathya Sai educational initiative and its impact? And second question, what would you do to help children bring out their inner treasure of peace and the other values in daily life? The questions are in the chat, so you can read them again if you need them during the discussion in your groups. After we will contribute with 1 spokesperson per group. So thank you, everybody. I would like to invite Fabiana to say more things about whatever this session before we finish.
First of all, I would like to thank all the participants for sharing these wonderful words. Words from the heart, experiences and reflections about education and human values. Each represents an important starting point to reflection that we can carry in our hearts and treasure them. It's wonderful to see how the seeds of human values sprout and grow, translate into a relationship of harmony, respect, resonance, gratitude, and care for everything around us. I would like to close with the 3 words that I feel that is peace within us, harmony with the world around us, sharing purpose and spreading goodness in the world. This is 3 things that today I would like to share with you. Thank you all for your loving presence. Now,
yes,
yes. Maybe you would like to say something about this wonderful journey that we are doing together.
Yes. Yes, it's very rewarding to meet each other and to see how we are developing the Sathya Sai educator philosophy and pedagogy in its area of education. It's like very interesting to hear about how the Institute of Sathya Sai in Italy is giving these courses to teachers approved by the Ministry of Education, which is very important. And it's also nice to hear when, for example, in the non-formal education, like the project I started in the school, and how the schools are opening to receiving this kind of methodologies, because they really need, all the teachers and all the systems really need to know how to develop the personality of the child and to look after the well-being and the emotional well-being and social well-being. It's very important, and living together is one of the main objectives of nowadays education, because it's a challenge. It's a challenge that we all face in our daily life, and especially the children face with all their classmates and difficult situations that we have to take into account, that they need to feel well with themselves. And so all this is very important for all of us. And I really appreciate what we are all doing. So That's all I want to say. If there's anybody from the team or who needs to express something else, and then otherwise we will maybe George.
Yes, since you said this, I would like also to thank you. It was very nice. And after what we heard, the last session from Katinka, it was also very, very inspiring. And then we had 2 more examples. Thank you very much with Elena and Fabiana. Yeah, this with that.
Thank you, George. Thank you for guiding all these institutes so well too. Thank you.
Thank you.
We all
Yes.
together.
We are always feeling this harmony in the team too, and this is amazing. And
We use the word team for our team, and keep reminding to ourselves the meaning of the team. Together, everyone achieves more. So it is, yeah, it is a joint work.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. So thank you. And then now we are going to close our cameras, please. Because I'm going to announce the next session, and if we turn off our cameras now, I will announce the next session, which is going to be on the 27th of May. And the topic is selfless service and service project. So we will meet again in 14 days for that session, the 27th of May on Saturday. And then we are going to listen to a song that has been made and recorded by the children of the Sathya Sai school in Thailand, the school where some of us were trained. I was there in 1999 for 2 months and a half, and this was the school that gave me the certainty of that this pedagogy and philosophy could be implemented, and if it is implemented, the children enjoy their everyday learning, they respect each other, and they are really good examples for each other, and they are happy and satisfied inside of them. So now we are going to watch this beautiful video and with this song made and recorded by them. Thank you.
Let there be peace in this world, my friends. Let the peace begin with me. Let there be love in this world, my friends. Let the love begin with me, with you and me, with you and me. Let there be laughter in this world, my friends. Laughter is the soul of peace. Let us help those who need, my friends. All their joy is what we need, for love and peace, for you and me. La 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 hearts and skies. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Let there be peace in this world, my friend. Let the peace begin with me. Let there be love in this world, my friends. Let the love begin with me, with you and me, with you and me.